Today on CarolinaBoy, starting up the Forgotten Map series, going back to Farming Simulator 2017 Thunder Valley. Hey YouTube and Farming Simulator fans, this is CarolinaBoy coming to you from Farming Simulator 2017. The map is Thunder Valley. This was a great map. The gameplay on the PlayStation 4 was fantastic, and I have logged thousands of hours playing this map. I actually went in and I've got my own game save where I went and redid all of these fields right up to the road on a lot of the fields. This field here is actually it's one field, but I have it going completely around. All the grass area is gone. The bad thing is in Farming Simulator 17, these bushes are planted differently, so when you try and plow them out, they don't disappear. So you end up with dirt going all the way up to the edge of the road, and your bushes are sticking out of the ground. In FS19, I think definitely in FS22, you can now paint the bushes better, and you can actually plow them out and they disappear. That's great. But back in FS17, you didn't have that option. So if we go and let's buy a truck. Let's buy something fast here. Trucks. Matter of fact, we want cars. Cars is way over here. Yeah. Alright, we'll just do a lease. Alright, so here is the shop in 17. And it's right in the middle of the town. So you have a there we go. You have a tree farm to the left side of the town, the map, and a sawmill is right there in the center. And then the town has a diner, which in here is actually dinner. And you have a spinnery, a town baker, and a shop. You have a grain elevator 2 on the left side of the map, and then you have grain elevator 1 at the top of the map, and then you have a BGA bunker there kind of center to the right of the map. You got pigs and sheep real close to your farm. You got a gas pump right there on the farm, and then cows is down here in the southern part of the map. So you see right here in the center, you got this little tiny field, but the road is here. You got plenty of area that if you want to, you can build more buildings there. You have a field there. Now what I've done in the past is these two sections here, I have cleaned out those areas too and actually created fields there. So I used the starting field to eventually build up enough income, so I extend out the starting fields to the absolute max of the limit. Like this field here, I go right up to the trees. I leave the trees and the fence, and then of course this field over here to the right, this is your other starting field. And then up here, this is a blank area where you can build in. Well, I actually ripped this up and turn this into a field. went and cut all these trees down around this road and have a field here too. Cut these trees out the center and merge all of these fields together. And I want to say that this over here is, yeah, this is another field too. So what I ended up doing was I have one massive field right here where the truck is. So field 2, field 1, and that section there becomes one massive field. I have a tiny field here. I max out the edge of field 13, and I bought field 7, max it out. And then I buy field 9 and max its size out until I get enough income to start buying out the other fields. And even though I've played many hours, of course I've done the cows, pigs, and sheep heavily on this map, I have never bought field number 5. I've never bought field number 4. I've never bought field number 3. I've never done 12 and 8, nor 10, nor even 11. And I have played this map, I don't know how many hours I have put on this map in 17. Like I said, the gameplay in 17 on this map is fantastic. And it's one of my all-time favorite maps. The guy that makes this map is something in my shoe. And I really hope that he would continue making more maps. He has not converted this map to 19 on the PlayStation. And he has definitely not converted any of his maps to 22. And I don't think he's converted any of his maps to 19 that I could find on the PC. Definitely not on the PlayStation. But he's got, I think it's American Outback. There's another Outback. There's quite a few maps that he made for, I can't remember if it was for 15 and 17, but he definitely made a lot of maps in 17. So let me go and show you. Well, actually, no, there's nothing really to show you. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll show you my map. Be back in a minute. Taking a detour for a second. This is the American Outback Special Edition, also on Farming Simulator 2017. And this is another one of his maps, and it is an absolute fantastic map also. And I have played this map very extensively too, doing the exact same thing, extending out the fields up to the edge of the roads, taking the trees out. All right, hold on a second. Just making sure that we don't have excess noise. So in this one, you start out he has an excellent layout for all of the farm stuff. And I'm trying to figure out, I think that is where I'm at right now. Yeah, there's the flashing. So in this one, it's got the mills are further apart. He's got the railroad train storage, which I also love. There's 2 trains on this. One that is a northern part and then a southern part. Southern train and northern train. So you also have the train grain stations where you can bring your truck up to and fill up the grain station and then eventually pull your train up. So I love that in this one. And he's got really great fields. This number 1 field is massive on its own. Even if you go and extend it out to the tree line, this field takes forever. So of course he's got the trains in it. There's 2 separate trains. You can do the lumber and the grain, which I really enjoy doing the grain. I mainly like to do grain stuff. So He's got the road right here almost in the middle of the map. And there you cross over the bridges to go to the eastern side of the map. Right about there. There's 3 bridges, 4, actually I think it's like 4 or 5 bridges. I can't remember how many bridges it is. But you got a river that goes right down the center of it. And it's fantastic map. Lots of opportunities for playtime on this map. Again, this is the American, what is this thing called? I'll have it in the description, but it's just go back to the, see, that's another thing. Farming Simulator doesn't do a good job to kind of like remind you when you're in the map, what map are you even in? But anyway, so this map's fantastic. The detail, again, this is There's Something in My Shoe is the guy that made these maps. Great maps. Love the detail of the map. Everything is laid out really well. I love the fact that you have the grain bins right here. Of course, there's your main barns. And then you can drive through the center and there is your grain dump. It's got a dryer. And then there's the cow pasture. And then you have the pigs are right here. And I want to say the chickens are close by too. Is this? I think this is the chickens right here. Yeah, that's the chickens. And that's the pigs. And then the sheep are just a little ways across right there. So this is your main map section right here. So you just have to cross the main highway and then you can take 2 roads and go over to the sheep area. And it's a nice large pasture that you can mow in. And the sheep are right there in their own pasture. You got a barn over there, your wool site. Everything's really nice. And of course you can set up conveyor belts in this. I've got stuff set up everywhere on this map. This map, I've got crap load of equipment everywhere. You'll truly get lost in equipment. Alright, so there's a sheep. So you can mow in this section of the pasture. All the grass you ever need is right there. And then there are the sheep right here. Your water station, food station. There's the water trough. And then your food is over here. So you can actually put your all your grass right there in the barn and turn it right around, and all day long you can feed it. Feed your sheep. And then got a pretty decent area for wool. I wouldn't mind having this actually expanded out a little bit more. But a lot of times what I'll do is I'll come and push the wheat pallets, the wool pallets out of the way. And keep letting it go. So this is the American Outback Special Edition, I think is what it's called. So let's get on back over to the other map. Okay, so here we are in my version of Thunder Valley. So if we come over here and look at the fields, you can see what I was talking about, how I have extended the fields out. And of course, because the bushes are added to the map at the beginning, you really can't plow the bushes out. In 17 you couldn't do that. See, this right here is where the original edge of the field would be. Alright, so let's find a that is the cow farm. Yep. And that's still the cow farm. Yeah, let's take this right here. So as you start playing Thunder Valley, you can go ahead and start expanding out. I'm going to show you how I expanded out the area where you could put buildings if you like, but instead I cut all the trees down and I turned them into fields. I guess I could have had a tractor a little bit closer to, matter of fact, I think there might actually be something up there, but again, I've got so much equipment I have no idea what's even up here. Yep, I was busy planting. So right here you can see how from edge to edge of the roads I've got this. This was one area to put barns. I've got it as a field. And then this one I literally followed the road around, and I think I left a couple trees on that side just to give it a little bit of a break. And then you see right here, I have continued this field around. So this field was like 3 fields. Technically, it was 2 fields and 1 area for barns. And right here in the center is where the divider was. So I still have those kind of bushes. And you know, sometimes fields have weeds that keep coming up for years after years. So I've seen it here, even North Carolina, where you have one section of field where you have bad weeds that can take a long time for brush and stuff to get out of it, where you can finally, you know, get down to the root of it. And so there's the rest of my field there. So this is actually a nice big field. You can see how 1 and 2 right there, how I have converted it into one giant field. And there's the field in the center that was where you put your barns. And then you can see how big field 13 is now. From edge of the field to edge of the field. And I did the same thing to field 7. I really maxed it out. Field 6, because you got these mountains here, you know, you have to kind of work with what you can do. I don't think, nope, in 17 you couldn't actually go in there and level it. I think in 19 you could start doing that. Yeah, in 19 and definitely in 22 you can do that. But in 17 you still couldn't do that. So you were kind of limited to what the map area was, as far as flat areas, hilly areas, you know, stuff like that. But you could still have a lot of fun and go in there and edit out as best you can, plow it out, making fields the best you can. Of course, you can't get rid of the physical road in 17, but you notice how I left a boundary here, an edge. When I first plowed it, I got right up to the edge of the road. The road stays, but if you're not careful, you can actually plow into the road and your crop comes up in the road. So I had to go back in and kind of steamroll that section out to kind of make it look a little better. So you can actually see where I did have the field at one time where the grass doesn't grow. That's where the field was, and how I came back in and kind of tweaked it a little bit to make it look better aesthetically. But I actually did have the crop growing right up to the edge of the road, which made it kind of cool because it kind of gave you almost like you were in England or somewhere where crops do literally grow up right to the edge of the road. So this is Thunder Valley and Farming Simulator 2017. This is CarolinaBoy. If you liked the video, click like. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We got a lot of new content coming back out as I get back into gaming and uploading videos again. That's it for now. Y'all have a good day. Hey.